Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for our first custom-built deck here in Pokemon TCG Online of the Celestial Storm expansion. As you can see down below, our first target is going to be Shiftry-GX from this new set. We're going to take a look at that card in just a moment and the deck that I've assembled for it, but before we do that, let's give you folks a code for a Forbidden Light Booster Pack. Down below you can see on the face cam, you get yourself a code, bring that to Pokemon TCG Online, type it in, and first come, first served. If you get that code in before anybody else, you get yourself a nice 10-card booster pack plus 1 basic energy of the Forbidden Light expansion. I'll leave that up on screen just a little bit longer here as we pop on into the deck manager and see what we're working with. Now, something that you should learn about myself on the channel is I am not super competitive. In fact, I am very non-competitive. I like randomness. I like having fun. And my mouth is all itchy here. But there is a way to make this probably a lot more useful and consistent and stuff. I don't want consistency. I want fun. Now, I'm going to try my best to make this work, though. Anyway, let's take a look at what I've assembled for this deck. This is the Pokemon itself in question. You can see it on the layout. You can see it right now on screen. Shiftry-GX. For 1 grass energy, Perplex can do 40 and confuse the opponent's active Pokemon. That's all well and good. We're going to try to focus on the extra sensory, though. For a grass and 2 colorless, you do 90 damage, plus, if you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, this attack does 90 more damage. 180 total. That's before modifiers. That's before, you know, what is it? Tools and stuff like that. Like Choice Band, I got some in here. You'll see that. That's a lot of damage. You just got to make sure you have the same number of cards, which sometimes isn't that hard to do. Sometimes it might be, but I've got ways to try to make it work. Anyway, the GX attack is Den of Iniquity. I think I called this Den of Inquiry by mistake during the pre-release. I couldn't see the card. It was a good distance away. Anyway, Den of Iniquity GX. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon. Your opponent shuffles that Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their deck. I almost said into their hand. That is interesting the way it's worded, because it does not say they need to have a bench Pokemon to use this. They do not say you can't use it if it's their last Pokemon. Technically, if they have only 1 Pokemon in play, I'm pretty sure you can use Den of Iniquity GX to shuffle that 1 Pokemon away. Once they don't have any Pokemon left on the battlefield, you win. So that could be a way to win if they only have that 1 Pokemon. Anyway, I've got 2 of these I keep trying to say Shiftry-GX in the deck. I've got 2 Nuzleaf and 4 Seedot for evolution purposes, of course. Other Pokemon, we need to have some more basics, of course. We got a couple of Minun, which I kind of really like. This Minun here with Ditch and Draw. You may discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw cards until you have 5 in hand. That's not bad. It's almost like Furfru's Return, except you're not doing damage, but you do get to discard cards you don't even need anymore with Minun, which is useful. Electro Ball can do 30, but you're not going to be attacking Minun. You're just here to get us some extra cards. Thanks, little buddy. Now, this is one way to try to make the extra sensory work. Marshadow from the Shining Legends expansion, the ability of Let Loose. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may have each player shuffle their hand into the deck and draw 4 cards. That puts you both at the same number of cards, and as you know, the extra sensory does that extra 90 if you both have the same number of cards. So quite often you'll see that as soon as I play Marshadow, use the ability, we both shuffle away. I'm not going to play any cards. I shouldn't say that. There's a slim chance that I may have to play cards. We'll see what happens, but generally speaking, if I play this down, use the ability, we're at the same number of cards, that's when I'm doing that extra damage with extra sensory. So that is going to be the 13 Pokemon in the deck. Let's take a look at the energy cards before we talk about the big bulk of the deck, being the trainer cards, of course. A couple of double colorless to help power up the Shiftry's attacks. A couple of rainbow energy, which will serve a couple different purposes. This does, it says, provide colorless energy while in hand, while in the deck, yada yada yada. While it's in play, this card provides every type of energy, but only 1 unit at a time. When you attach it from your hand to one of your Pokemon, put 1 damage counter on that Pokemon. Bit of a drawback, but you'll see I'm trying to make that work. So there's 2 rainbow energy. Look at this new style one from the, well, this is from the Sun and Moon expansion, but this one is particularly from the Celestial Storm. I like the look of it. Alright, and we got 6 basic grass energy as well in here for a total of 10 energy cards. Now, your trainer cards are what fuel the deck. This is what's going to try to help power us through here. Since we're going to be discarding cards with mine, and I want to get some cards back in some way, so the Energy Recycle System, a new card from this new set, choose one, and I love trainer cards that give you an option of what to choose. Put a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand, or shuffle 3 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck, which is essentially just like, as you'll see, Rescue Stretcher, choose one, put a Pokemon from the discard pile into hand, or shuffle 3 Pokemon into the deck. So it's kind of similar in the sense that it's using energy, or at least basic energy, as opposed to the Pokemon, but they're pretty similar. I got 2 of those. Energy recycle systems. We got 2 rescue stretchers as well. I also got a couple field blowers, highly recommended for any good deck. Generally, you might want to run 4, but like I say, I'm crazy. I'm not super competitive and like that. The field blower says choose up to 2 in any combination of Pokemon tool cards and stadium cards in play, yours or the opponent's, and discard them. That's going to help get rid of the opposing stadiums, but it's going to help get rid of one of my own stadiums, which I'll talk about when we get to that. Now, just to help find my Pokemon a little bit quicker, because I was doing some testing, and there's a lot of random shuffling that happens. The randomness does hurt sometimes. I'm trying to find ways to get my Pokemon more consistently. I got 3 Great Balls in here. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Pokemon you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back in. So it's still random. You don't know what 7 are on top. But I do have, you'll see a trainer, a supporter, that helps us choose what's on the top of the deck. So that might come in handy. Couple of nest balls as well. Didn't go too heavy on these because generally I'm only using these to get C-Dot and Minun onto the bench. Because as you'll see, search your... I don't have my overhead light on. There we go. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. Problem with that, if I use that to get Marshadow, that's not playing Marshadow from hand, therefore the Let Loose ability does not trigger. So I'm only going to get C-Dot or Minun with those 2 nest balls right there. Couple of Pal Pads, since... Okay, I didn't mention this yet, but this deck here, I'm trying to make prepared for the upcoming standard format rotation. I do try to make all of my decks standard legal, and although the new standard format has not rolled in just yet, I believe it's near the end of the month it's going to be, when the standard format does come in, we no longer have access to my cherished puzzles of time, which means I was using them to get my supporter cards back. This is my only real option right now. I mean, I could run Delcatty with the Find Friends ability, I think it's called, but with the Pokemon in the deck this week, I can't really squeeze that in, so Pal Pad, shuffle 2 supporter cards from your discard pile into your deck. And you'll see I'm using a number of different kinds of supporter cards, so I kind of want to get them back. Now, since we have 4 C-Dot, and only 2 Nuzleaf and 2 Shiftry, in fact, I could put a 3rd Shiftry in. I'm not going to, though, but if I want to make it more competitive, I probably should. I've got a couple rare candies. Do I want to put another Shiftry in? I'm now second guessing if I should or not. I do have access to 6 of them. I think I'll say no for now. Excuse me. But anyway, since we don't have 3 Nuzleaf to evolve up into a couple Shiftry, I got a couple of rare candies, which does help speed along your evolutionary process, too. Choose one of your basic Pokemon in play, so in this instance, picture C-Dot. If you have a Stage 2 card in your hand that evolves from that Pokemon, put that card onto the basic Pokemon to evolve it. You can't use this on your first turn or on a basic Pokemon that was put into play this turn. So you can't do the you can't break that first turn of evolution rule thing using the rare candy. But you can skip the Nuzleaf stage, which could speed things up nicely. Now there's the rescue stretchers, as I mentioned. Super Scoop Up is kind of a random chance. It's a 50-50 chance of flipping a coin. If heads, put one of your Pokemon and all cards attached... Excuse me, I'm still got a bit of a cold here. All cards attached to it into your hand. Generally, I'm going to be using that to try to bring back Marshadow. Once it's in hand, I can then play it down again, Let Loose can trigger again, thereby shuffling both players to the same number of cards, thereby powering up Extra Sensory once again. So that's going to be the general use of Super Scoop Up. Got a couple timer balls in here. Again, random chance, but at least you have more like a... let's say 75% chance of getting this to work. Flip 2 coins. For each heads, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So it could help us find our Nuzleaf and Shiftry. Of course, nothing else is an evolution card. So just trying to find ways to get the big guy, the big Shiftry-GX, I'm just going to call it that the whole time, into the hand. And we've got a couple Ultra Balls as well, 3 in the deck this week. Discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a Pokemon and reveal it and put it into your hand. So that could find us Marshadow if we want it. Also, the Nuzleaf or the Shiftry-GX. There we go. If I'm looking for those. Now, let's talk about these stadiums here first, the Sky Pillars. There's a bit of a problem with this, I think I've noticed. Prevent all effects of the opponent's attacks, including damage, done to bench Pokemon, both sides. So prevent all effects of the opponent's attacks. That's important to note, because when I was playing a test, and I had Shiftry-GX on the battlefield, there was a benched Weepinbell with a lot of energy, and I thought, you know what, I just want to get that out of there. So I used Den of Iniquity GX on it, and I chose one of the opponent's Pokemon. They shuffle it, and all cards attached into the deck. When I use that, Shiftry-GX wobbled like boom, boom, and sent back down, like the attack failed. Nothing in play should have prevented that Weeping Bell from being shuffled away. All I can think of is the game somehow misinterpreted that all Pokemon's attacks are blocked to bench Pokemon. This only says the opponent's attack, so that might be a bit of an error with the online game right now. We're just going to try it anyway. If it happens and I get it recorded, that's kind of cool. I can show that to Pokemon.com and be like, hey, fix your game. Not that they would even take notice of me, but whatever. Alright, now, this stadium here, the Parallel City. One of those double-sided stadiums that when you play it, you choose what side to play it down facing, and different effect for each player. I'm going to face it the other way, so take your monitor, lift it up off your computer, or if you got a laptop, just do that, and put it upside down as I talk. So it says, the blue side, choose which way, of course, is facing when you play it. This player can't have more than 3 bench Pokemon. When this card is put into play, this player discards bench Pokemon until he or she has 3 Pokemon on the bench. So, that's going to be a way to get rid of some Marshadow. I can get them just discarded off the side, and I can then, of course, rescue Stretcher them back in, if need be, if and when I get rid of that stadium, or play Sky Pillar to replace the Parallel City. Excuse me, that gives me another few spaces left on the bench, more chance to play Marshadow if I can get them back into hand. So that's going to be how that little combination works. Another way to get Marshadow back into play. Remember I said the Rainbow Energy places a damage counter on the Pokemon when you give it to them? I'm going to try to attach these to Marshadow because Acerola is here to help things roll along. Put one Pokemon, or one of your Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all attached cards into your hand. So again, if I damage my own Marshadow, I can play Acerola, take it back in, I can then play it down again, the Let Loose will trigger, both players reshuffle to get the same amount of cards in hand once again. Extra Sensory is powered up once more. Another way to power up Extra Sensory. I got 2 cards, or 2 supporter cards in here that'll do that. Copycat, shuffle your hand into the deck, then draw a card for each card in the opposing hand. That immediately puts me at the same number of cards as them. Pretty simple stuff. Let's talk about Judge now. Each player shuffles the hand of the deck and draws 4 cards. That's just like the Let Loose ability of Marshadow, except a supporter card. But again, putting us both at the same number of cards, powering up Extra Sensory. So, just for a little bit more support, I do have Cynthia. A lot of people say you want to run 4 Cynthia. You probably should. As I say, I am crazy. I'm not super competitive. We'll just roll with this. We'll see what happens. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. So that could help you find some more resources. Every deck's going to have at least 1 Guzma. Generally 3 or 4 will be recommended. I just got messaged. What? I'll close that in a second. Anyway, Guzma. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon, and if you do, switch your own active with one of your benched. So it's pretty cool. You bring up something from the bench that is trying to power up, perhaps. You can swap it around, bring something up from your bench. If you have like a free retreat cost on that one, retreat back to who you have for the attacking. Boom, hit them hard, knock them down, take a prize or 2. Good stuff. Now, Mallow is here to try to help us a little bit. Search your deck for 2 cards, shuffle your deck, then put those 2 cards on top in any order. That can help us with the Great Balls, like I said, put any Pokemon we want on top. It's also going to help us with Minun, who ditches cards from hand and draws until I have 5. So if I need any particular cards, Mallow can put them on top, and Minun can help me find them. Which, we kind of situational, kind of lucky, but we'll see what happens. The last card, we've got a couple of choice bands. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more damage to the opposing GX or EX. That's going to help power up Extra Sensory to a possible 210 before weakness and resistance, and other factors, of course. So that could be a lot of power. 210 takes a lot of Pokemon down. Now, one second, I'm going to close out my... There we go. Alright. No messages, no distractions. I think we're ready to roll. That's going to be our deck for the first official Pokemon TCG Online battle video. Now, as I usually do, I'm going to jump into a computer training battle just to show you the idea how this works. Because a lot of times, I take these decks to the human opponents and I get destroyed. But I would at least like to try to show off the strategy. 13 Pokemon, 37 trainers, and 10 energy cards. Let's give it a test against... Who is my opponent going to be versus the Copycat deck? It is Daniel. Daniel's son is up first. Colorless deck looks like he's using there too. Alright. Do I have to say it? Do I have to say it? Welcome to the Professor Chaz channel, where we mulligan all the time. I've got 9 basics in the deck. That's basically half. Anyway. Alright, Alright, so I don't want to play Marshadow to start off with. I'm going to keep it in my hand because, as the ability says, when I play it from my hand onto my bench during my turn. So it's not going to trigger the ability just yet. So we're going to say done for now. And let's see what we have to work with. Fighting off a Gligar, okay. This thing can rock crush us. Now, am I going to lose to a computer opponent? I wonder. I'm going to say no, because I don't want to. I'll put double colorless to C-Dot. Do I want to play Marshadow now? Because, see, I do have Nuzleaf already in hand. I'm going to keep that for the time being. Let's drop Sky Pillar just to get it out of the way. So now, any of the opposing attacks should not affect any bench Pokemon. Let's do a simple Stampede for 30, which is not bad for a first turn attack. One more Stampede, and we actually take this thing down. Never mind. Alright, but what can this thing do? It needs a Fighting Energy, which it now has. I can't attach energy to my Pokemon, thanks to the Submission Hold. Thing is, though, when I evolve into Nuzleaf, that eliminates that effect. Any sort of hovering effects like that are taken out through evolution or by benching your Pokemon. Alright, so now we're going to play down Marshadow. Let's use the Let Loose. Shuffle both hands into the deck. We're going to draw 4 cards apiece. I now have an energy in hand. And check this out. This is kind of cool. Now, I haven't really used my supporter yet, right? I still have access to Cynthia. We're going to play her right now. Shuffle the hand. Let's see. Didn't quite get what we were looking for, but I can get it next turn. Let's play down C-Dot. Okay, this thing can hit me for 60, which could poison, which is scary. Because if they hit me for 60, which they can do with just one more energy. In fact, you know what I want to do? I want to retreat. I think that's the safest play. We're going to retreat the Nuzleaf, because if they did get one more energy, Poison Jab does 60, brings me to 80 damage. If they get the heads on Poison, the Poison drops me. So we're going to retreat. It's going to take both of the... the double colorless, unfortunately, but it's what's got to be done. I put a Choice Band, just because I know we're not fighting any GXs or EXs, but in theory, that's what I would be doing. And... gonna end the turn there. I'm gonna hang on to the 2 different Pokeballs I've got. Have an idea in mind. If I had a way to draw a card next turn, other than the start of the turn, this would be a perfect way to roll. You see, there's the energy they needed. We're gonna be able to use Poison Jab. Oh, we resist, actually. I forgot. We have a Fighting type resistance on our little Marshadow. So what I was hoping to find was a double colorless. But since we don't have that, we're gonna play Mallow. If I put Shiftry-GX on top, I can use the Great Ball to grab it. Which I'm going to do. The other card doesn't matter, because as soon as I play Great Ball, everything else shuffles in. So let's just put, excuse me, another Shiftry-GX. Why not? Alrighty, let's do that. And we're going to play out the Great Ball. Grab ourselves one of those. I was just say, don't show me double colorless in the top. I need to get double colorless to power up our Nuzleaf. So we're going to play Shiftry-GX. Actually, what I'm going to do now is kind of crazy, but I'm going to get rid of both Rescue Stretchers, even though I have no way to bring them back. I'm going to grab another one of our Marshadow. So I'll play you onto the bench. Be able to use the Let Loose once again. Shuffle nothing into the deck and draw back 4. I've got Copycat now, too. So... well, I can't play it this turn, though, of course. But next turn, I can definitely get another hand of cards. I'm going to put a basic Grass onto the Shiftry-GX. Put this down onto the other C-Dot. Basically, I know I'm not using these tools in this battle, but by getting them out of hand and into play, when I do shuffle cards back into the deck, I'm going to minimize how many of those cards that I redraw back, you know? Once the cards are in play, that's more chance of getting what I need, like energy. You jerk. Why would... I really want them to update Pokemon TCG Online so that the opponents will use standardized cards. Or at least, I mean, I don't know, technically it's expanded, that's all well and good, but I want standard cards to deal with. Alright, let us... Timer Ball. I'm happy that we're getting the bad luck out of the way right now, as opposed to when I fight an actual opponent. Alright, we're going to play Copycat. I wanted a double colorless. Perplex! At least we're going to confuse them. Now, with all the bad luck that we just got the past couple turns, this thing has to hit itself. It has to hit itself. There is no option. You're not going to poison me, at least. That's nice. Gave me that slight little bit of help. Alright. I don't think the trick coin's really a problem. We'll let you keep that trick coin. I'll keep the field blower. I'm going to play a judge. Shuffle away. I could have played the C-Dot to minimize what I draw back, which I probably should have, so I could have got double colorless, which is how that would have happened. But hey, we got a Nuzleaf. Now, I'm going to, since this one is damaged right here, I'm going to attach to the bench Nuzleaf instead. Do I want to Pal Pad anyone back in? Actually, I do. As soon as I have a chance, I want to Pal Pad back in my supporters that will get us to the same amount of cards. So, Copycat and Judge going back in. We're going to go for a simple Perplex, 40. That's a knockout, and we gain the double colorless energy. No. Actually, Rare Candy's a card I can simply just toss if need be. Because I already have... I'm going to get my second Shiftry-GX. Why is that so hard for me to say? I'm going to get my second Shiftry-GX in play. No longer needing the Rare Candies. Alright, so Parallel City does not help us at the moment. I'm not showing you what the Extra Sentry can do, because the game's not giving me what I need. If you're going to play Pokemon TCG online, or just Pokemon TCG in general, you gotta accept the fact that bad luck is going to be part of your game. And just accept that, I guess. Let's judge. Still no double colorless. However, we do have Super Scoop Up, and it's going to fail for us. Again, I am very happy that the bad luck is being taken care of right now, as opposed to when I fight a real person when I'm going to need as much luck as I can get. Alright, Hitmonchan, what do you got? You got nothing. You got 1 energy. Really? That's going to do nothing. Give me double colorless. Okay, don't want to Pal Pad anyone back in just yet. Not really. So see, if I play Copycat, well, if I play Copycat, I'm going down to 1 card. Let's do it. I like playing risky. We're going to get double colorless energy right now. No, but we do get some energy back. 1. Alright, so let's do that. We're going to put a basic energy in hand. Again, since the active one is basically just dropping, I'm going to power up that bench one. We're doing nothing but perplexing. I tell you, when I'm testing, things work a lot better. Wouldn't you know, when you have the camera rolling. That's the fun of YouTube, by the way. If you are going to get into YouTube, prepare for the moment you start recording for people to see, you're going to get the bad lucks. For example, look at that. We have a card we can't even use anymore. Now hit yourself, Daniel. Why do you get to get extra cards? That's not fair. Come on. Thank you. Okay. That's not helpful, game. Okay, let's get this Hitmonchan out of the way. We got... I don't even want double colorless anymore. I don't even want it. I don't need it. It's unnecessary for this match. I got this Shiftry ready to roll. Karina, what do you find? You got a Gligar, you got a Pal Pad. You ain't got no energy on the Dedenne. You can't do anything. Does the Pal Pad look the same? It does, just a different angle. Okay, that's kind of cool. Rainbow energy. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to put this onto the Marshadow to give it a damage counter. As I say, that way I can play Acerola if I ever find her. And take it back into hand and then replay Marshadow for both players to reshuffle. And they're leaving that Dedenne to take a hit. That's kind of sad for poor little Dedenne. Hey! Now... we can't play all these cards out. Actually, we can get down to, no, then we can't use the Perplex, or the, Extra Sentry. So we're just gonna simply... I want to show off the GX attack. Just to say that we did it, let's go ahead. Den of Iniquity... I almost said Den of Inquiry again. Den of Iniquity GX. Let's get rid of that, No, see, look at that, look at that! What? Can you guys take a look at these cards and see, does anything prevent that effect from hitting that Pokemon? Read this. Prevent all effects of the opponent's attacks, including damage done to bench Pokemon. I'm not an opponent. I am to them. I'm not my own opponent. That should not be blocked. That's a huge problem. Anyways, I think maybe something like it doesn't show who, like, it doesn't record who has played this card, like whoever has ownership of it. So, I can't play anything from hand. Well, what I could do, I can do this. I'm going to retreat. I just want to show what Extra Sentry can do. Alright, back to the bench this one goes. Attach an energy. I'm going to use this to reshuffle 3 basic energies back in. Well, we only got 1, so there we go. And now let's play out this so I can at least use my GX attack if I ever wanted to. And bop. So we're now down to 1 card each. I'm going to use the Extra Sensory for 180. Right there. And grab ourselves Minun. See, I wanted you a lot earlier, Minun. You are good for helping me get cards from the start of the match. Why were you hiding in the prizes? You're supposed to be out here on the battlefield, buddy. I was going to say, watch me draw the second one right now. Alright, so we do not have access to use the double damage here, but 90 is still enough for this particular Helio list. We got... Now, if the other Minun was hiding in the prize cards, I'm going to be slightly nettled. Go ahead, poison me. No poison. Okay, so... There's nothing we can do. I was going to say, if I had space on my bench, I would get a Marshadow. I'm going to grab it anyway. Excuse me. If I had space, I could play it down, shuffle both players to 4, do the extra damage, but still, like, if I was fighting something with more than 90 HP, I would want to try my best to do that. Right now, that's a simple knockout. Boom, down it goes. Alright, now then, it is time to take this match, take this deck, take much better luck, I'm hoping, into an actual versus against a real human player. So, by the way, I didn't mention it yet, but the end of the stream, it's not even a stream, I'm so used to doing streaming. At the end of the video, I will showcase, why did I say showcase? I'm going to give you another code card at the end of the video. This one will be for a Celestial Storm booster pack as well, by the way. Alright, let's go to the CS Copycat. Let's see how this plays out. It didn't have a good showing against a computer opponent. Does that mean it's going to stand up to Miss Midnight 93's Darkness type deck? I see Zoroark. Zoroark might be a little bit scary. Let's call for heads. I actually want to go second, though. I'm not going first. I'm going second. Actually, it's good, because if they had that Manectric that sets up, that'd be pretty bad. Oh, look, we have the best start. You do not want to have to start with nothing but Marshadow. That's ridiculous. Alright. I do have Judge. Get another hand. Let's see what they're working with. We saw Zoroark Coin. What are their Pokemon? So it's one of the Darkness type decks. This might be an easy one. I don't know. It's not just the standard Guzzlord GX, but they do have other Pokemon to back it up. Let's see what happens here. Alright, C-Dot, that is good. We'll drop you here. Give it a double colorless. We'll put a Choice Band, even though they could Field Blower it away. But since I'm planning right now to shuffle away, then... Oh, hang on, let me think. Should I get rid of their stadium right now? They can't hit me just yet. If I get rid of their stadium, that could sort of slow them down a bit. I'm going to keep it as it is right now. We're going to play Judge. We're both shuffling away, getting 4 cards. Still got my Parallel City if I want to make use of that. Let's end it right there. Uh-oh, we're weak to Darkness, by the way, with Marshadow. Not that it's one of my battlers, of course. So if you don't know what Guzzlord GX can do, Eat Slothful, he says, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If any of those cards are energy cards, attach them to this Pokemon. And you just happen to have Enhanced Hammer. Gotta love how that's reprinted in the Guardians Rising expansion. So one more energy from hand, and they can attack. Let's not use that C-Dot. Let us Ultra Ball. Parallel City, I guess, and the C-Dot. I'm going to grab a Minun. Now, if I can get one energy of any sort next turn, I can start using Minon's Ditch and Draw. You have the energy. Yes, you do. We have a regular Guzzlord here, too. Alright, here we go. They almost should have used the Glutton GX, though, to gain extra prizes off of that. They could have gotten 3 by using the GX attack. Come on, game. I don't want to lose to a Guzzlord GX. I'll try one more match after this one, because if I don't get... Let's just see what I get off the top of the deck. I'll make my decision later. I'll give it one more shot, and we'll see what happens. The deck was working perfectly fine in training and testing before doing this. Alright, we win the coin flip. We're going to go second. Now, give me Minun to start with. Come on, game. You owe me that. I've got no basics. That's fine, I guess. If I can get Seedot out of the active spot, I can Nest Ball for a Minun. I still need energies, though. So I didn't even mention, but it's a Darkness and Fairy and Colorless deck, I believe it showed. From, your name is Dahlia. Dahlia or Dahlia? Can't tell. We get the Lunala cards, these. Cool. Alright, we're going second, which means we get to attack on our first turn. It's not going to matter. We got Yveltal GX. Kukui being played. Can't do any extra damage this turn because you can't attack on the first turn. We're going to see the Umbreon GX, are we? Yes, we are. So that can do 90 with Shadow Bullet with a double colorless. Now watch, they're going to get their double colorless. All they need, I'm sure. Let's Nest Ball this thing. Let's get Minun. I'm going to give it the Rainbow Energy. The Seedot, I'm going to stay active and take a hit. I'm going to now play Cynthia. Give me a much more useful hand, I'm sure. Alright, let's see if Super Scoop Up can give me back my Seedot. Let's see if I can get Seedot with the Great Ball. Let's get a Seedot by playing Marshadow. Sky Pillar is in play. Words do not need to be spoken to describe everything that just happened right there. You all saw it. Okay, the opponent plays Pokemon Fan Club. Find 2 basic Pokemon from the deck and put them into hand. I did have one of those in here, but I found, like, oftentimes I would use it to get the Marshadow, because the idea is, of course, like I said, Nest Ball, you can't use that to get the Marshadow in play and use the ability. So I was using the Fan Club to get just the Marshadow, but by getting 2 of them, I'm still only getting to play 1, really. Which was not really ideal, right? Because then I could shuffle right back in again. I mean, I guess it does give you access to 1 at least, if nothing else, though. Okay. Now, I wonder... I don't think it would, but I would think... I wonder if Sky Pillar would prevent the Strafe from happening. I didn't think so, because it's an effect that's happening to the active. Alright, so Vullaby comes up. What I'm going to do, attach the Seedot, retreat the Seedot, and get Minun up here. I'm now going to shuffle up and get a Copycat going there. We got us a Nuzleaf. I will take that. We got us another Seedot. I will play that. Now we're going to Ditch and Draw. I actually don't need to discard anything if I don't want to, so I'm going to keep what I've got and just draw 2 extra cards. Super Scoop Up might help us if we need to make use of replaying that Marshadow. What are the HPs on these? So 200, 180. So if I could get the extra sensory with the choice band powered up, I can one-shot anything that they have. Excuse me. Again, as long as I have the same number of cards in hand, and if I get the energy I need. Do you think I'm going to be able to get double colorless? Don't know. So I'm assuming Volibai's here just to take some hits. What would the reason for Mandibuzz be, though, I wonder? And again, I've said before, take a look at Volibai. Take the card, turn it upside down. That's a humanoid-looking skull it's wearing. That's kind of messed. Alright, let's power up Nuzleaf. We'll give it a choice band. I'm going to Nest Ball just for another mining. Now we're going to try the Super Scoop Up. Fail once again. Thank you very much, Super Scoop Up. That's why I kind of hate coin flip cards. In theory, you have a 50-50 chance. In practice, it does not feel like 50-50, to be completely honest and completely bitter about things. Now, if I could get lucky, like we did during our live stream of the first day coverage, and get Guzma off the top, I could take down that Umbreon. Yeah, we don't get it. But we got double colorless. We do have Shiftry now in play. I could retreat Minun if need be. In fact, instead of retreating, I can do something else. So this can do 90. Oh, Dark Call is going to be a problem. Discard 2 energy from the opposing Pokemon. So let's just... Actually, no. I know what we should do. I'm going to keep Shiftry on the bench for now until I can get Guzma. So I'm going to play Acerola right now. Am I? No, not yet. I'm going to keep Acerola for the time being. I'm simply going to use Ditch and Draw. Oh, I'm taking my time. I know. I'm sorry. Let's Field Blower. Let's get rid of that. And get 2 more cards. Did the game bug out? Are we going to hear that ticking the whole time? No, good. It's gone. Because, in theory, if this thing tries to use the Dark Call GX, I should be protected on the bench with that Sky Pillar. I'm not sure what to do either. We got a bit of a waiting game going on here. So let's do this then. Electro Ball gets the knockout due to weakness. First prize is claimed. That's a Judge. Awesome stuff. The only thing that has any energy to attack is right here. Don't get rid of my stadium. Come on, try the Dark Call GX. I want to see this fail. They could just go for the strafe, of course, though. Kind of like this. The suspense is building-ish. We got us the Darkrai Prism Star. When you play this Pokemon from hand to your bench, you may attach 2 Darkness Energy cards from your hand to it. What is the play? What I really want to see is that they use Dark Call GX and have it actually still hit my Pokemon. Because if that is what happens, then there's a huge issue. But I doubt it's going to be programmed like that. If it was that, that'd be just like an oversight, a misprogramming kind of thing. Going for the strafe. Alright. A nice safe strafe. Well, find me a Guzma. Not Guzma yet, but I could luck out and play Marshadow to find Guzma. I'm gonna give it a shot. Both players will shuffle. I have not yet used my supporter. No good. However, I did get my Parallel City. But playing that makes it so they can use Dark Call GX against me. So let's hold off on that for now. Let's use the Timer Ball. said, let's use the timer ball. Thanks for 1. 25% chance. Wait, was that 25% chance? No, that was a fourth of a 25% chance, if I'm doing the math right. Anyway, whatevers. Let's use the ditch and draw and get some extra... Yeah, because I might get Guzma. I don't need to ditch any of that stuff. We're good for now. Well, I can play Mallow next turn and put Guzma on top. As long as Minun stays in play. Because essentially, I got to take this thing down before we lose our energies. So this is sort of a long, drawn-out match, but kind of an interesting one. Abyssal Sleep. So if they can hit me for 120 and get to flip 2 coins instead of 1 to wake up, that could be an issue. Okay, put double colors onto the Nuzleaf. We're going to play Mallow. Which 2 cards we want on top? The first one's Guzma, and I want to also get, I don't even know. We got the Parallel City. I know what I want to get. Where's my Rescue Stretcher? Excuse me. Alright, so now, ditch and draw. I can get both of those right now. I'm going to get rid of this Marshadow and draw 2 cards. That gives us the Guzma. I also have the Parallel City. I can play it and discard the other 2 Marshadow, and then Rescue Stretcher all 3 of them back in. The only thing is, I gotta make sure I get the energy... Or sorry, the cards... The same cards in hand. We got 5 left, so I'm actually planning to play a lot of cards out. Well, before we do anything else, I'm going to do Guzma. We're at 5 cards apiece. I'm going for the attack right now. Extrasensory. Alright, down that goes at least. Okay. And actually, this is pretty good. I got a couple Ultra Balls. And a Field Blower. Alright. As long as I don't forfeit just yet, I'll show you something really cool in the next turn. My strategy is, I'm going to play the Parallel City, switch it so that I have to discard Pokemon. Into the discard pile they go. Rescue Stretcher, we're going to put those 3 Marshadow back in the deck. I'm then going to use Field Blower, take out the Parallel City Stadium. I can then use the Ultra Ball, bring in... Actually, I don't even play Ultra Ball, I've got Judge. So I can play Judge as my supporter. Both players shuffle, get 4 cards, doing my Extrasensory of double damage once again. Now you could... Oh, you could take out my Minun with your Doom count. Fortunately, Absorb Vitality will only do the 20. And, oh, yeah, 20. And heal back 20, but we're going to one-shot you next turn. So they're probably thinking, we got to get cards out of my hand. We can't have the same number. That's the scary thing when you face something that says, you know, if we have the same cards in hand, we're hitting harder. You got to think, what can you do to get rid of cards? Because there might be a limit to how many cards that I can play down. Excuse me. Well, wait, this might actually hurt. Sonic Evil, we'll do 130 now. We'll survive it, though. So I'm not too concerned with that. We still have another Rescue Stretcher available to us as well. Alright, so here's the move that I was talking about. Make sure I'm doing this in the right order, though. Parallel City, first of all. Switch it so I'm going to discard Pokemon. Yeah. Marshadow and Marshadow are gone. I'm going to Rescue Stretcher the 3 of them back in. I could play Judge, of course, like I said, but I just want to show this off more creatively. So let's get rid of Parallel City, and it doesn't even need to get rid of the Choice Band, but we'll do it anyways. And we're going to play Ultra Ball. Let's discard the other Ultra Balls. Why not? Not you, not you. Grab a Marshadow. Down it goes. Both players shuffle to get 4 cards. And before any other card is played, we're going for the Extrasensory of 210. Another GX, down and out. Now, we are somewhat low on the HP for Shiftry. But if nothing hits us for another 80 damage, I can actually win this on the next turn. I've got Acerola. I can take Shiftry-GX back in the hand, all cards attached to it. Nuzleaf can come up. I can give that, or I can evolve that one, give that the choice band, and we're good to go. Just going to make sure we can get ourselves to the same... Actually, we get another Marshadow in hand, too. This is perfect. Lady, what are you doing? 4 basic energy, 4 basic darkness I'm expecting here. Alright, so this was kind of a sloppily played match. It's not over just yet, I should say, though. We don't know what could happen here. This could retreat. This could come up. Turbo Storm could do 30 and attach 2 basic discarded energies. I'll just do a happy face. I think they know it's up. So yeah, simply put, I just need to, I don't think we need to do anything else in particular. We're just going to play Marshadow. Let's just shuffle up. And actually, I think we had the same number of cards in hand. Never mind. I could have just attacked. I did the thing I hate. I played a superfluous card. I've wasted people's time. I apologize. Go. All right. Like I said, not the most well-played match in history, but that does at least give you an idea of what these, what the Shiftry-GX can do on the battlefield. 1 second, getting that other code ready for us here as we see, oh, mystery box reward. And we, oh yeah, I forgot we have a little challenge to do there too. Alright, so let's go back and go to the deck list. We'll talk a little bit about this once again. We'll also take a look at the other GXs of the set. Okay, deck manager. And as we do this, help yourselves to a Celestial Storm booster pack code card right down below there. Take this to Pokémon TCG Online. Grab yourselves a nice 10-card booster pack, maybe getting your own Shiftry-GX if you're so lucky. So, as you see, the power of this is pretty crazy. If you have ways to get both players into the same number of cards in hand, 180 damage, plus the choice band can do 210 if you're hitting a GX or an EX. And even though I have all these ways to, make both players shuffle their hands, as I think you saw at one point, as long as you can just play enough cards from your hand to get yourself down to as many cards as they have, it's all well and good. If they have more than you, that could be a little bit tricky because it's kind of sometimes harder to get extra cards. But I've seen people say that you can combine this with, where is it? Zoroark GX, which I do not have, but we'll take a look at it here. Excuse me. So once during your turn, you may discard a card from your hand, and if you do, you draw 2 cards. That could be a way to add 1 extra card to your hand. Plus, if it's a card that lets you search for a certain number of things, like Lady can get 4 basic energy. You could somehow try to manipulate the number of cards that way. But I find it's more safe, personally, to have things like the abilities where as soon as you play it, you've got the same cards in hand as the opponent. Judge does that. Copycat does that. You're immediately guaranteed to be doing the extra 90 damage. So that is going to be it for our first official deck of Pokemon TCG Online Celestial Storm. But let's take a look at the rest of the Pokemon GX of this set and see what we are looking forward to working with here. So we just saw Shiftry. We got Blaziken. We used Blaziken actually kind of effectively in our first live stream of my first day coverage, but I might want to give it more of a chance to shine. Not sure what more it could do, but we'll put some thought together with that. We have Articuno GX Legendary Ascent ability, kind of like Tapu Koko in a way. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench, well, I'm not going to read everything. We'll just kind of scroll through them. We'll talk about them in more depth when we get to there. Articuno GX Electro GX is an option as well. We have Mr. Mime GX, which is going to be fun to try, and I do want to try that. With that Magic Evens. We've got the Shady Moving Bayonet GX as an option for later on. Put 3 cards from the discard pile into your hand. I like that. We've got Palosan GX, which is kind of not super crazy good, especially with standard formats saying that strong energy is no longer a thing that we can rely upon. But we'll try to make this guy work at some point as well. Sandy Fear GX could be an interesting one. That's not bad. Actually, that's really not bad if you combine it with Hiker. But anyway, we'll talk about that later on. We've got Alolan Raticate GX. We've got Scizor GX. Stack Attack GX, which I do have one trade lock version of. I can use that. And Rayquaza GX, which, as I think someone was saying in the live stream, is pretty good combined with the Vikavolt from the base set of Sun and Moon, powering up very nicely. 30 damage times the amount of all that energy attached to all of your Pokemon. I like that. Now we saw all these as well. So that's going to be our first week official coverage of custom-built decks. If you guys have any recommendations or requests for which of these GXs you want to see next time, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have any suggestions for non-GXs from this set that you might like to see me try to make use of, let me know, because there's a lot of options. A lot of Pokemon that are not GXs can still stand up quite considerably with the right strategy in mind. And I kind of like combining the idea of Magcargo with Ludicolo. Magcargo says, once per turn, search your deck for any card, shuffle the deck, put the card on top. Ludicolo says, once during your turn, draw a card. You can pick any card you want every turn with both those two in play. But anyway, that's for another day. If you enjoyed today's episode, folks, feel free to leave me a like down below. And if you want to stay tuned for some more Pokemon TCG action or other Pokemon content just in general, you know what to do. You can subscribe to the channel for some more regular content. With that, it's time for me to get rolling for the day and see if I can get myself some possible shiny Snubbull or shiny Houndour in Pokemon Go and test my luck there. Thank you, folks, for tuning in once again. Professor Chaz is signing off, and I will catch you next time.